Hey, loved one, welcome back to yet another installment of our Psychic Abilities series. If you haven't already checked out my video where I discussed 13 different I can't talk, 13 different psychic abilities, go ahead and click the card up here. Check that video out first, and then come on back here and let us know if this is you. Does any of this resonate with you? I am gathering my notes here. I think I have everything I need. Let's talk about it. Psychocartography. Psychocartography is the gift of being able to read the land, the place, and its energy. I knew the phone was going to ring. It loves when I do videos. Now, if you have this gift, you can also heal and manifest from the connection or through connection with the land, ley lines, meridians, and latitudinal and longitudinal matrices. Okay, now when I talk about ley lines, let's get into that just briefly. And I share about this in my crystal energy course just to give people an idea. Okay, the middle, the core of the planet is a dodecahedron crystal. Okay, that's what science is saying, that it's a crystal and it's a dodecahedron crystal. What is a dodecahedron? I do not have one with me, but I have something very similar. Okay, now you see how this is shaped. Now, a dodecahedron is shaped very similar to this, except instead of a triangle here, it's a hexagon. So in the shape of a stop sign. So imagine the stop sign shape is this, and then you have the 3D, okay? So at each point, and I'm using this just as an example to drive the point home with the ley lines, and many of you already know what that is, but there are some people who land here who may not know, okay? All right, so at each point, there is a corresponding vortex, energy vortex. Okay, so this is the middle of the planet, and all of this, all around here is Earth. And at each point, there is a corresponding energy vortex that sits on the planet around the world. If you've ever seen any of those maps that are opened up, and it's a world map, but it's opened up, okay, around it, Earth, opened up, and you see all of the lines and they're crossing everywhere, and they're in perfect order. But where they meet, the point in which they meet the lines, those are the ley lines. They meet at the point that corresponds to the point of the dodecahedron. Okay, so examples of things that sit on those ley lines would be Machu Picchu, Sedona, Arizona, the Great Pyramid, and Stonehenge. Okay, so that's what I mean by ley lines. You can go ahead and Google that. It should come right up for you. But it's very fascinating, very interesting. So again, you are able to heal and manifest through connection to the land. Now, when practicing psychocartography, you receive information and feelings again from the land. And the tools that can be used in this practice are dowsing rods. I don't know if how old you guys are, but if you remember way back in the day when they were trying to find water on a land, if a land had water, can you plant crops here, that type of thing. Can people live here and thrive? Is there water? They would use what are called dowsing rods. You can actually still get those on Amazon. And they're metal rods. They almost look like metal hangers. And they're simply curved. They're like an L shape. But you hold them, and as you get closer to the energy, the rods open up. Okay, the stronger the energy is, the rods will open up, and they close when you back up. That's another way that you can actually test the energy of a crystal grid if you are a crystal practitioner, or if you're like learning crystal energy, that's another way you can measure how far that energy is going using a dowsing rod. Another way to dowse would be to use a pendulum. Did I bring a pendulum over here? I could have sworn I brought a pendulum over here. Nope, I left it over there. Okay. A pendulum, you've seen those. Many of you probably seen those as well. A pendulum could be your necklace. And just to give you an idea, it could be your necklace. It could be, you could put a nut or something or a washer on a string. And you hold the pendulum up. And the way you start to work with it is you ask it to show you yes. So it's like, please show me yes. You watch the way it swings. Please show me no. Okay. So as you can see, the yes swings towards me and the no swings left to right. Okay. And it's just energy. That's all it is. It's not, it's energy. It's working with your energy, and the pendulum is just helping you get information. And so you can use that in your practice. All right. Now, quickly back to the ley lines and the healing and manifesting. I was in a class years and years ago. And a reminder, you can use anything for a pendulum, okay? Anyway, I was in a class years and years ago, and we were talking about this. And what I discovered, what we learned is that each of us we each have an area in this world where we would thrive most, where we can manifest most, where we can be more well and have optimized health and just really, really thriving. And we went on the map and we did the longitude, latitude thing, to see where. I can't remember where mine was, but it was out of the country. I know that. And I knew that I was not going to pack my bags and move. Now, you've heard of people, at least I have, on different documentaries talking about they went on vacation or they went on a sabbatical and the land healed them. This is very similar to what I'm talking about. So not only can you go and heal from the land and the energy in the space, and it doesn't have to be the energy vortices. It could be anywhere for your individual blueprint where you can thrive. So some people were already where they needed to be. Me, not so much, according to this map, okay? However, what's beautiful about this is because energy does not know time and space. If you are not, and you discover you're not where you can be most healed, you can actually locate that area on a map, or if it's an actual place that is in a book, you can actually get the book, get a picture of it, and keep it in your space and put yourself there and visualize yourself there and look at the picture. That alone will help you with your healing and manifestation. Now, that's a very long conversation, but I thought I would share that because some people are like, well, what if I can't move? Or what if I don't want to move? You really don't have to. Same thing with crystal energy. If you want to work with crystals for any particular thing and you don't have any right now, you can actually get pictures of them and use the energy of that crystal from the picture, because energy does not know time and space. See, I knew all this noise was going to happen while I was recording, and I was like, I'm not going to, how many times have I recorded this video? Too many. So I'm like, I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to kill the noise and continue on. Okay, so additionally, with the psychocartography, you are a person who may be able to not only use the dowsing tools, but say you are really gifted and have built on this gift, then your intuition may be all that you need in order to maybe find water on the land, for example, or to know whether or not this land needs to be healed. You know, are the crops growing in, you know, was there something devastating that may have happened and now that energy needs to be cleansed and cleared. You'll be able to do that or know that it needs to be done. And if you don't feel comfortable or feel like you're able to do that, or if that gift is not strong enough for you, at least if that's how you feel, then you can then at least have the diagnosis and carry on with getting things healed and cleared out. I know of someone who they went, they were they in Africa? They were somewhere in Africa that no one would visit. Okay, so they were out in Africa, they were visiting, but it's this area that no one would, they were like, no, when we go there, we feel all these spirits, and it's just so much that happened over here in this land. And he said he went, and really what it was is that there were souls that were there in spirit that just didn't realize or didn't know how to cross over, or maybe didn't know that, hey, you're no longer in the physical. It's time for you to cross over. They're waiting for you. And he happened to be gifted in this area to help them cross over. And so when he did that, he came back and visited, and now there's a school built there. The area is thriving and doing really well. Okay, so this is a really valuable gift and a tool. If this is you, let us know how it resonates. Let us know if you've already been practicing this or if you're building on it. Give us some tips on how you're building on it, and maybe that'll help us also. And as I said once before, all of these psychic abilities or these spiritual or intuitive gifts, they're not a cookie cutter. Okay, so it's not like a piece of pie and you cut and then you have a perfect piece of pie. They blend in and bleed to one another, okay, and or bleed into one another and cross over. Okay, so some of these gifts are lying dormant in many of us. We have a plethora of them, and they are stronger in some than in others. So whatever your strongest, you want to start building on that first and practicing in that first. Okay, I could go on, but I'm going to cut this video here because there is something else I want to share with you in another video, and it's on topic but not on the topic of psychocartography. Okay, all right guys, until the next video, live simply and be kind.